Hi everyone and welcome to the Code Dev channel. Today we are going to learn about interfaces in Go, what they are, how they work, and how they help us to write cleaner and more flexible code. Let's start with what they are. An interface is a type that specifies a method signatures. If type implements those methods, it satisfies the interface. No explicit declaration needed. So let's write the interface in the code. To define an interface in Go, you need to create a type with a name and make it an interface. So let's do it in the code. We need to create a type. Let's call it printer. Make it an interface. And we need to make a method signatures. Let's create a method called print. It will take no arguments and it will return a string. Now let's create a type that satisfies our interface. Let's create a type. We will call it user. It should be a struct. And let's add one parameter. Full name is a string. So now we have a type user, and now we want to satisfy our interface. What should we do? We should create a method for the type user. Let's create it. Func user, func for the user type, called print. It should return a string. So let's return hello username. Return. Let's use fmt package printf hello username user full name. Now we have a type user that satisfies our interface printer. So what does it mean and how to check it? Let's create a function func print which take an argument, a printer, an interface, and it will just print in the console our print method. Let's add print new line, println a.print. And in our main function, we will create a user type, user equals user with the full name. Let's use after completion John Doe. And after it, we will use print function, print user. Let's run it in the console. Go run main.co. You can see we have a hello John Doe. Now let's write a code that is more closer to a real task. Let's assume we have two type structs. Let's clean our code for a second. Wait a second, please. Let's say we have a type user which has a first name as a string, last name string, and also here, and it has email address, and we have a type admin struct which has a full name as a string, and it has an email also string. And what I want to do is create a united interface, mail-able, so we will be able to use admin or user in some method to send emails. So we won't send an actual email, but we will print this data. So instead of print, in real life, we can actually send emails. So let's create an interface for them. It will be type mail-able interface. We need to specify two method signatures. Its first one is get email, should be string, return should be string, and no input parameters, and get full name. Also no parameters, and also it returns string. Now we need to implement two those methods in each of user and an admin. Let's start with a user. We need to create a method func user code get email. It should return a string, and we just return user email address. Now let's implement get full name method. Let's copy and change get email to get a full name. Because of we have a first name and last name, we will use the previous function fmt package sprintf return fmt sprintf and just output two variables, user first name and user last name. Now let's implement for the admin. Let's copy and we will use admin type. Admin get email. In admin we have a, let's change this. In admin we have a field email. And in admin we have a, we doesn't have a first name and the last name, but we do have a full name. So we will just return admin.fullname. Now, when we have a two types that satisfies our interface, let's create a new function that will print the email and the full name of our mail labels types. So let's create a function. Let's call it send email. It will take an argument called mail label. It will be any mail label, and it will return string. It will return full name plus email, but in real world this function will just send email for email, and it will use greetings as a username in the subject or in the body. So let's take return, use again our package, return full name, and we will use email address here. Get full name, get email. So let's create our types for admin and the user. User first name, let's use a John again. Last name Doe, and email address johndoe.gmail.com. Now let's create an admin. Full name John Doe. Let's make it more clear that he is an admin. And email, sorry, with capital letter, John Doe admin.com. Now we can pass admin or user in our new function send mail. Let's use it and output the result of this function, and let's use send email, and let's use our user for the first. Let's commit an admin, clear console, and go run main.co. We have output as what we want, John Doe with his email. Now let's use an admin. Make clear and go run main call. We have the same result with different text. In this example, the interface is very useful because we can create a one function send email that will use either admin or user type and send email for user or an admin. Also, there is a good way to do it is create a new function, send emails, and in argument it will take a variadic parameter. That's mail ables. Let's split it. Mail able. It will return array of strings, but in the real world it will send multiple emails. Let's do it in the range. For range mail labels, we don't need an index. Let's create an array of strings. Result make string, and for each mail label we will append result with this send email. Let's do result equals append result and send email mail able, and let's return our result. Send emails. So now we don't have an error. Sorry, it should be here. Now we have a clear and clean function. Let's use it in the code. Let's uncomment our user, and instead of print ln send email, we will do this. We will first one, we will call the send emails function with user and admin. Result, we will send emails user and admin. Now we know that the result is an array. We will loop it in the range function, range method of Go. Sorry, for range result, we don't need index, we just need a string result, and we will output that in the console. String result. Let's try it in the console. Call run main.go. You see, we have a user type, we have admin type, and we pass it in the same function as the same arguments mail able interface. And in the console we have a string for the user and we have a string for the admin. That's the powerful of Go interfaces. Let me know in the comments if you like those types of videos. If you do like, please like and subscribe to the channel. Bye and see you in the next video.